My dearest child, something just changed in the unseen, something so quiet, so sudden, that you didn't even feel it when it happened. Just 5 minutes ago, a decision was made behind closed doors. A signature was placed on a document that now bears your name, etched in ink and sealed with intent. And here's the part that will take your breath away: someone you've never met, someone whose name you don't even know, has just changed the course of your life. They didn't completely rewrite the story, but they did make one bold and irreversible change: they named you as the heir. Out of every name they could have chosen, they chose yours. You might be wondering, why me? Who is this individual? What exactly am I going to receive? Is it about wealth, money, estates, or property? No. This is about something much greater. This is about purpose, legacy, and stepping into a future that was quietly planned for you long before you believed you were worthy of it. Allow me to explain how it happened. The will itself has not changed significantly. The clauses are still intact. The witnesses' names remain the same. The timeline, holdings, and intentions remained unchanged. But one detail now stands out like a beacon in the darkness: your name has been added. Not on the bottom. Not in the fine print. Not as one of many. But as the sole inheritor. This means that when that paper was signed, something in the spiritual realm aligned to deliver to you what had previously been reserved for someone else. And yes, this stirs more questions than answers at first. Who made the decision? Why so quiet? What prompted the change? And why now? Maybe the greatest question lingering in the air is this: whose name was replaced with yours? Who once had this promise, this inheritance, this honor, but has lost it? And why were you chosen to enter it? Let's be clear, child. This is not a coincidence. This is not about luck or chance. This is about divine orchestration. Something sacred has been transferred. The spiritual mantle has been passed down. What's coming to you is more than just material, it's meaningful. This is divine alignment. You have been chosen for something holy, something significant, something that will stretch your faith and stir your soul. I've seen what was written. Every word was measured. Every blessing is accounted for. Every promise is supported by a power greater than human intent. And I've been waiting, watching the time, feeling the moment, until now. Until your spirit was prepared to accept what is rightfully yours. And now I'm going to show you what that inheritance really means. But I ask you this: can you quiet the noise for just a little while? Could you please give me the next few minutes of your undivided attention? Because what I'm about to reveal will not only answer your questions, but will also change your direction. It will change the way you see yourself, your calling, and how you move forward. Everything that has been delayed, denied, or rerouted is about to make sense. The replacement was not an accident. The inheritance was not lost, it was reserved. For you. To truly understand how your name came to be written in this sacred inheritance, we must return just a few hours in time, to a quiet, pivotal moment that most people overlook. It did not occur in a courtroom, bank, or boardroom. It started with a phone call, a sudden, urgent whisper through the line. There were no pleasantries, warnings, or delays. Someone had made a deep spiritual decision that needed to be acted on right away. That mysterious person, the one whose identity you still don't know, called their lawyer. Not to ask any questions. Not to seek advice. But to issue a command. Come to my house. Now. The lawyer, slightly alarmed but obedient, dropped everything and arrived in under an hour. When he rang the doorbell, it creaked open slowly, not with fanfare, but with a quiet weight. The atmosphere inside the house felt different, as if something sacred was about to happen. There were no assistants, no family members, and no interruptions. Only one room. One table. 2 chairs. The mysterious figure led the lawyer inside, closing the door behind them, closing the windows tightly, and drawing every curtain until the room was filled with silence and shadows. They were not hiding out of fear. They were creating a sacred space where distractions would not interfere with destiny. The lawyer sat quietly, not daring to speak first. Something in the air felt heavy, more spiritual than legal. Finally, the person sat down and started talking. What followed was more than just a legal discussion. It was a soul-bearing conversation, hours of reflection, confession, and conviction. They talked about past mistakes, broken trust, years spent sowing into the wrong hearts, trusting the wrong spirits, and watching the wrong people waste what they'd been given. And then, like a flame being passed from one candle to another, they said it. Words that would alter the balance of everything. Remove their names. It cannot be them. Not anymore. I want this to go to someone who holds the light in reverence. Add their name. Make them the only ones. And, child, that name was yours. You might think it was a random decision, but I'm here to tell you that it was divinely guided. The decision wasn't born from anger. It was born from discernment. They didn't choose you because you were loud, flashy, or eager to be noticed. They chose you because they observed you from a distance, spirit to spirit. They witnessed you remain faithful even when the ground beneath you shook. They noticed how you gave even when you were empty. They witnessed your tears, patience, and secret prayers whispered when no one else could hear them. And what sealed it was this: never let bitterness rule your life. You walked through fire, but you didn't lose your tenderness. That is what made the decision undeniable. But now, we must talk about the question burning at the edge of your heart: why was the former heir removed? What might have gone wrong? This part of the story may be difficult to hear, but it is necessary. Because only when you understand what almost happened, how close you were to being shut out, will you fully comprehend the significance of the miracle that is now unfolding in your life. You'll notice that this inheritance wasn't stolen. Not borrowed. It was rescued, from those who would have misused it, and given to someone who would protect, nurture, and carry it out in truth. Understand this, my dear child: the person who once held the place that now belongs to you wasn't just unprepared, they were unrighteous. The seat you now occupy was once promised to someone else. But, over time, their hearts wandered. What was once clean became polluted. Their intentions soured. Greed took root. They began to seek status, praise, and control, rather than guarding what had been entrusted to them with humility and honor. They began to treat the sacred as common. The holy as expendable. They were not removed hastily, but with sorrow. Because their spirit no longer matched the legacy they were supposed to preserve. The one who chose you, the very soul who revised the will, looked the lawyer in the eyes and spoke tremblingly clearly. I've witnessed the former heir desecrate what was built on love, faith, and sacrifice. If I leave this in their hands, it will not just be lost, but destroyed. Those words were not spoken lightly. They echoed through the spiritual realm, bearing the weight of Matthew 7 verse 6. Do not give what is holy to dogs or throw your pearls before swine. Because what is holy should be honored, not exploited. What is sacred should be preserved, not paraded. So I stepped in, not with lightning or thunder, but with a whisper that could shake eternity. I sparked something deep within the heart of the person who held the will. I spoke gently but firmly. Look again. Choose again. And this time, their gaze fell on you. Yes, you, the one who remained unseen but faithful. The one who did not seek power but quietly honored me when no one was looking. You weren't chosen because you were perfect. You were chosen for your purity. Not pure by worldly standards, but by mine. You kept your heart soft in a harsh world. You remained teachable, humble, and surrendered. And for that, I altered heaven's order for your sake. But I know your heart still wonders why you haven't told me who they are. Why the mystery? Why the delay? Because, my love, not everything hidden is a secret. Some things are shielded for your protection. The name of the person who was replaced still casts shadows. And if I reveal it too soon, those shadows may attempt to reach for you. There is a right time for all things. And I will not let you confront something before you are spiritually prepared to rise above it. So trust me, not only with the promise, but also with the process. Let it sink in, you are now the heir. Not one of many. This is the one. But, before you let that title boost your ego or settle like a feather on your shoulders, remember this, it is not a title of pride. It is a mantle of purpose. This inheritance is more than just a blessing to enjoy, it is a sacred responsibility to bear. You are receiving not only resources, but also divine influence, authority wrapped in humility. You are receiving a transfer from heaven, not for what you did in public, but for what you endured in silence. You prayed when the tears outnumbered the words. You worshipped despite your wounds. When others fell, you remained standing. And you kept believing when everything around you said, give up. That is why, my child, this moment belongs to you. What is happening right now is more than just symbolic, it is supernatural. Yes, the legalities are handled in the earthly realm. But the decree has already been signed in heaven. The inheritance is no longer pending, it has been activated. The enemy cannot contest it. The previous heir cannot reclaim it. This is a sealed decision written by me. And I don't change my mind once my will is established. So, now I ask you to walk forward, but not with fear. Speak, but not in haste. Be still, but not passive. Stay rooted in me. Because what I have placed in your hands will multiply, as long as your heart is open to me. This is your appointed time, child. What has been set in motion cannot be stopped. My word has spread. Nobody, nothing, or circumstance can undo what I say. Come close, my beloved child, and let these words sink into the deepest parts of your heart. Because they carry a truth that can change everything. You keep looking for answers, signs, and a breakthrough that seems far away. But today, I will tell you a holy secret. The power you're looking for is already inside you. Yes, within you. It's been there all along, quietly waiting for your attention. You don't have to chase approval or wait for the right moment. You do not have to be richer, more educated, more connected, or more polished. You need only to awaken to what I already placed in you from the beginning, the power to think differently, to choose differently, to live differently. If you can renew your mind, you can renew your entire life. That's the divine pattern. That is how transformation begins, not by force, but by faith. When you change your thoughts from fear to truth, from shame to grace, you begin to reclaim the authority I gave you. And, my child, you have authority. You may not feel strong, but strength is not about emotions, it is about what you choose to believe in the stillness of your soul. So, today, decide to believe what I've always known about you, you're worthy, capable, and chosen, for this time, place, path. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're becoming. And as your thoughts change, so do your days. As your mind is renewed, your steps will realign. You'll start to see the seeds of greatness that I planted years ago, hidden gifts just waiting for your faith to rise and water them. That moment of blooming. It's not coming years from now. It begins the moment you decide to believe that I did not make a mistake when I created you. The moment you say, I believe, heaven begins to respond, it is done. But to walk in this new life, my child, you must silence the voice of limitation, the voice that says, you're too late, too small, too far gone. This is not from me. Throw it out. Refuse to let it influence your decisions. Those thoughts may have been with you for years, but they must now leave. Because you are not entering just another season, but into alignment with divine destiny. And that path requires clarity, courage, and truth. So rise now, not in your own strength, but in the strength that comes from me. Allow your thoughts to align with heaven. Allow your imagination to be guided by what I have promised, rather than what the world has predicted. You are not a reflection of your mistakes, but of my mercy. You are defined not by what you have lost, but by what I am about to restore. Come closer, my beloved child, for I have something sacred to whisper to your soul, something quiet but powerful, meant not to burden but to protect you. In a world that encourages you to speak up, post everything, and share every ache, dream, and detail, I call you to something different. I summon you to stillness. To your discretion. To the quiet strength of holding certain things close. Because, my precious one, every time you pour out your heart to those who aren't meant to carry it, a piece of your strength slips through your fingers, like grains of sand through an open palm. Your spirit was not meant to be poured out for anyone. It was meant to be treasured and protected like the rarest of gems. Because what I've placed within you is holy. Oversharing, though it may feel like relief in the moment, can drain your divine energy in ways you don't realize. Each unnecessary word, each detail delivered to the wrong ears creates an opportunity for the enemy to plant confusion, incite jealousy, and distort the truth. Not everyone deserves to witness your transformation firsthand. Not all listeners are safe. So I'm teaching you the sacred art of silence, not as a punishment, but as a shield. Not to isolate you, but to protect you from the noise that threatens your peace. Privacy, my child, is not secrecy, it is safety. It's a covering. It is a soft veil that I place over your soul's garden as it grows. What is holy must be preserved. Just as you would not leave your most valuable possessions out for strangers to handle, you must also protect the deep things I am doing in your life. There is beauty in mystery, power in restraint, and divine favor in the quiet path, because those who move with me in silence often walk the farthest. Do not seek attention. Do not seek applause or approval. Those things fade, and they will never satisfy you the way my peace does. Instead, walk like the morning sun, gentle, faithful, and radiant, rising slowly, without noise or permission, and scattering darkness simply by being. Destruction is chaotic and loud. It makes itself known through clamor and fire. But true divine creation moves softly. It stirs secretly. It grows beneath the surface. That's how I build. That's how I raised you. Come near, my precious child, and let your heart rest on these words. For what I'm about to share is more than just instruction, it's an invitation to freedom. To truly master your life, you must start at the very foundation, your mind. Not the circumstances surrounding you. Not the opinions of others. Not the external noise that seeks to define you. But that quiet, inner space is where your thoughts emerge and your beliefs take root. This, my beloved, is your starting point, the source of your strength. If you long to step into the fullness of who you were created to be, you must first learn to lead your mind, with intention, truth, and grace. I ask you now. Slow down. Breathe. Take a sacred moment to reflect on your patterns. Notice how your thoughts move, what triggers them, what calms them, and what sends them spinning. Observe the emotions that stir when certain memories rise, when certain fears emerge, and when doubt tries to pass for caution. Watch how you react in moments of pressure, in seasons of waiting, in places where the light seems far. All of these are hints, threads of divine insight that, when followed, will bring you closer to the version of yourself that I have always seen. Ask yourself honestly and gently, why does my heart respond this way? Why do I keep choosing paths that seem safe but limited? Why do I silence my own voice when I'm called to speak light? These questions, my child, are not burdens, they are keys. Each one unlocks a deeper understanding of who you are and what still needs healing. Don't be afraid of what you discover. I already know each aspect of your soul, and yet, I call you worthy. Because when you begin to understand yourself, not through the lens of shame or fear, but through the truth of how I created you, clarity will emerge like the dawn. Not just clarity about what to do next, but also about who you really are. You will no longer shrink to fit expectations or wear masks to feel accepted. You will stand firm in the identity I gave you, rooted and unshaken. And here is my promise to you, beloved, when you truly see yourself as I see you, strong, chosen, and deeply loved, no lie will be able to take root. No rejection will wound you beyond repair. No storm will shake the ground beneath your feet. Because your foundation will be based on truth, and I will walk with you through all seasons. You will speak with purpose, move with peace, and rise with power, not because the world has approved of you, but because you saw what I've seen all along. So return to yourself, my dear child. Tend to your inner world with care. Master your thoughts, and you'll master your journey. And as you grow in self-awareness, I will meet you there, with wisdom, healing, and divine strategy. We will walk this journey together. And you will become everything I created you to be. Let this be the beginning. Let this be the moment you rise.